Hey everyone, Chang here and welcome to my channel. Now, for today's video, I'm going to generalize another quick math computation sort of trick. Now, in previous video, I focused on what happens when the number ends in a 5. And in another one, I focused on just being able to square numbers from 40 all the way to 60. Today, we're generalizing so that you can square any number. Now, here's the caveat though. Even though it's quick, as you start generalizing rules, and this happens in a lot of different situations, not just for these specific example, but usually when you start generalizing rules, it takes a little longer. Even though it's quick, it's definitely quicker than the average computation. It takes longer because the rule can only be so specific. You only can memorize so many steps and do so many things if the situation is so broad. So that's what's happening here. So I'm going to try to go over a trick, quote unquote, or just basically an easier way to square numbers very quickly. Just general numbers, not having to end with 5, not having to be between a certain set of numbers, just in general. So before I just ask you guys to start memorizing things, it's actually probably better to understand where it comes from and how to actually utilize it. Now, every time you square a number, if you want to do it quickly, you have to think in terms of two possible scenarios. The first one is two numbers adding together. Okay, and A and B in this case is just some variable to represent the numbers. Well, if that's the case, if we factor it out, A plus B times A plus B, and very quickly when you just FOIL all this, right, or distribute all of it, however you want to call it, you get A squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, that's the first situation. The other one you want to think about, numbers can be written as one number minus another number. And in this case, we're just going to have a minus b times a minus b. And once again, once we FOIL this out, and I'm confusing myself, what else am I missing? There you go. All right, cool. That's going to equal a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, that's the two possible situations. And as I start showing you examples using this and how this can help you quickly square numbers, you can sort of develop your own strategy, but I'm going to give you a hint as well. And it has to basically do with numbers that are either greater than 5 or less than 5. And just by generalizing that, at least within, I guess you could say, the hundredths range, it will make your computation that much easier. So let's look at that. All right, so I've erased all the rules, but let's see if we can do it. Once again, this number, less than 5. So probably use the addition one. So that is going to be 90 plus 2 squared, which we really want is 90 squared plus 2 times 90 times 2 plus 2 squared. That's what? 8100 plus, and that's 2, 180, 360 plus 4. That gives us 8464. And that's our answer there. This one right here, the number and the ones is greater than 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the subtraction. 60 minus 3 squared, right? That's going to be what? 60 squared minus 2 times 60 times 3, right, plus negative 3 squared. So what do we get for that? Well, in that case, it's going to be 3600 minus, what was that, 360 plus 9. So that's what, 3240 plus 9, it's going to be 3249. Last one. This is 5. What do we do? Trick question, right? There is a rule such that when it ends in 5, very simple. So we don't really have to do this at all. Remember that we take away the 5, and I go into this in another video extensively, so you can look at that. But take away the 5, then you have 9 times 10, which is 90, and then you have 5 squared, which is 25. So the final answer is going to be 9025. Boom. Just like that, right? A lot quicker. All right, so now we're at the end of the video. At this point, you basically have 3 different, I guess you could say, special rules that you can memorize or at least find a way to make sense of that can help you square numbers very easily. We have the one that ends in 5, the one that's between 40 to 60, and now this generalized version. Now, of course, if you combine those three, you can compute a lot of squaring very quickly. Here's the thing. Once again, you still need to be at least somewhat proficient in basic multiplication and basic addition, especially when it gets to generalized form. And these are fairly simple numbers. Of course, you can generalize it to something even bigger, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000, so on, millions. It still works, right? But notice that you have to be able to square quickly, you have to be able to multiply quickly, and you need to be able to add quickly. So that, there's no shortcut. That takes practice. So practice doing those, right? At least the basic component, multiplication, adding, squaring, which is still multiplication as well. And then just with that and understanding these basic generalized or special case rule, you can do squaring very easily. Hopefully this helped. Quite enjoyable, just little fun things about math. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.